And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Let's check in with our own Steve Malsberg, the king of the county, and see what he has planned for tonight. Stevie!
What the heck went on at the Fox presidential debate yesterday? We'll talk about it. Dick Morris will be here. Did Megyn Kelly and company overstep their bounds? We'll also talk about it with two panels, John Zogby on one, Larry Elder, David Swerdlick on the other, and Ralph Peters will be here to give his unique take on all the candidates. It's all straight ahead right after the Daily Wrap. Don't go away.
Looks fun. I think I'm going to just stick around here and watch Malsberg instead of waiting for the DVR part, right? Exactly. To sit in studio, exactly. Anyway, throughout the entire show, we've been asking you who won last night's debate. Let's see what y'all think. With 63% of the vote, we have Donald Trump winning. Look at that. Wow. Boy, that is a landslide. Jeb Bush, only 1%. Okay, I'm surprised he even got one. Scott Walker, who was kind of invisible, didn't really hurt himself, help himself, or didn't really make any kind of impression. 1%. Mike Huckabee, 4. Carson, 5. A lot of people talking about him today, and so on. Can we put that back up real quick, guys? I just wanted to go through that a little more. Ted Cruz, 9. Marco Rubio, 8. Rand Paul with 0.0. Christie as well. That's interesting. They fought each other and couldn't get 1%. And John Kasich with 3%. Okay, the poll is still open, so be sure to cast your vote at newsmaxpolls.com. All right, following the debate, social media exploded with complaints about Fox News on the way they handled Donald Trump from the very first question. As you saw, Bret Baier asked the panel if they didn't win the nomination, would they run as an independent? Trump was the only one who raised his hand.
Is there anyone on stage, and can I see hands, who is unwilling tonight to pledge your support to the eventual nominee of the Republican Party and pledge to not run an independent campaign against that person? Again, we're looking for you to raise your hand now. Raise your hand now if you won't make that pledge tonight. Mr. Trump.
That was tremendous. You ever see Anchorman, where Ron Burgundy says, that got out of hand fast. Things really escalated quickly. That started off things. What's that?
Where'd you get a hand grenade?
Yeah, right. Rick killed a guy. Yeah. But that started off things, and I looked at my wife and I said, this is going to be awesome.
Yep.
And it was.
Well, I know who wrote that question. Roger Ailes.
Roger Ailes wrote that question. Why do you think that?
Because it is absolutely the question that he's concerned about. He likes having Donald Trump, I think, on driving ratings, as he clearly is. Absolutely. Lots to talk about, but he doesn't want Trump to be the nominee of the party.
Interesting. You agree with that, Heather?
I think a lot of people were thinking of that question. I saw it on Twitter before the debate. So I think that while Roger may have had some influence, I think it's a question a lot of people wanted the answer to. And I think a lot of people didn't like the answer that he did.
Fair question to start, Carl?
Trump had to do it because if he didn't, the GOP would probably try to push him out, and the fact that he left that door open makes the GOP say, oh no, we better play nice with this guy.
As he said, looking for leverage. Okay, Trump was also asked if he was anti-woman.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
That was tremendous. So, was that called for? Did Fox treat Trump unfairly with that question?
Absolutely not. And you know what? He got a good laugh on Rosie O'Donnell. I understand that. But we didn't play the substance of it, where she continued and said, no, that's not the only time you said that. And his response was, I haven't got time to be politically correct. Let me tell you something. I know I'm the old guy, but when I grew up, we didn't have the phrase politically correct, and we didn't think about politically correct. But if I ever called a woman or a man or anybody else the names that Donald Trump called these people in writing on Twitter, I'd have been either sent to my room if I was still that young, grounded, or whatever. It's not about political correctness. That has nothing to do with PC. It has everything to do with being a really rude, offensive human being. If that's what we want in the White House in America, then vote for this man.
Carl, I think since he's said these things publicly, I thought it was tough but fair. But that said, I thought Trump's answer was pretty good in terms of him saying, look, we got bigger issues to worry about. We don't have to worry about tone right now. And I thought that he acquitted himself pretty well with what was a very, very difficult question to answer.
It was a very difficult question, but I think the most difficult question he had all night was when Chris Wallace said, "You've declared bankruptcy 4 times. Would you drive our country in the same thing?" If I was Trump, I would have said, "Look, Babe Ruth had one of the worst batting averages of anybody in the Hall of Fame. Yet nobody talks about his strikeouts. Nobody talks about his errors. Everybody talks about his home run. I've hit over 100 home runs as a businessman. I've had 4 strikeouts. I'll take those odds any day, and if you can give me a businessman up here with that kind of record, I'll take it."
Actually, that would have been a much better answer. You're right.
Maybe I should run for president.
Well, I got to tell you something. I actually
average.
saw the gentleman who was the mayor of Atlantic City at that time, and he had a very different take. He talked about all the small businesses that even before Trump went broke, he didn't pay.
Yeah.
And how badly they got hurt and how they got pushed out of business by him being unscrupulous.
Overall, we could agree that Trump's been a successful businessman.
Yeah, at other people's expense, apparently.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, we got to go, Heather. We'll talk to you more in a moment. Was Fox too hard on Donald Trump? Go to NewsmaxTV.com right there, /comments, and let us know. Coming up next, we'll find out what New Yorkers thought about last night's debate. Interesting. Stay tuned.